got a lot of stuff to cover in our brand new director, so let's go ahead and get started. This week's weekly featured raid is the Vault of Glass. It's finally time, baby! And as our weekly featured raid, it of course has its two challenge modes active, the Templar Challenge and the Athian Challenge. Now the Templar Challenge is basically the same as it was in year 1. You have to prevent the Templar from teleporting, although he does have red oracles now that you can't skip, so you can't just ignore the oracles and cleanse anymore, you have to destroy them. Well, for Athian, things get a little bit tricky. You basically have to have each Guardian kill one oracle when you're teleported, so your outside team's gonna have to move inside to help you destroy the oracles. That's going to be a lot of trouble to coordinate. Good luck with it, Guardians. For the Challenge of Elders, we've got the Solar Burn, Trickle, and Precision Kill bonus modifiers. Bosses you'll be facing are Seditious Mind, Noru-Usk, Servant of Oryx, and Psylocke the Defiled. Ooh, Psylocke plus Solar Burn does not feel good. This week's weekly Nightfall is the Nexus Strike on Venus. Modifiers are Epic, Arcburn, Specialist, Juggler, and Ironclad. This is one of my favorite strikes in the game, so I'm definitely happy to see it coming for this week's Nightfall. I'm gonna miss that Daybreak bonus though. For the Siva Heroic Crisis playlist, modifiers this week are Heroic, Solar Burn, Brawler, and Chaff. Another decent set of modifiers, but you're gonna notice Solar Burn is all over the place this week, including the next playlist. The brand new Weekly Story Heroic playlist. And this week, the modifiers are Heroic, Solar Burn, and Catapult, so all of your solar classes are gonna have themselves a pretty darn good time. This is a great week for solar weapons, so I hope you Guardians either get your hands on that Vex Mythoclast or on that wonderful Vision of Confluence. For Crucible this week, we've got Zone Control, Clash, Rift, Elimination, Skirmish, and finally, Rumble Supremacy, meaning there's a lot of different PvP areas covered. Alright, next up we're moving straight to Felwinter's Peak, but we're going to be skipping out on Shiro 4 and heading straight to the Cryptarch. This week, Tyra's got the Memory of Felwinter with actually a pretty darn good roll. This artifact always has great stats, but this one in particular is like a 340% roll. Definitely worth your time. If only we could say the same for the rest. Next up, we've got the Memory of Timur with a Discipline Strength focus. Unfortunately, it's only around an 87% stat roll. And then the Memory of Perun with an Intellect focus. And unfortunately, this one is sitting at a paltry 64%, so neither one of these is really worth picking up. But if you haven't gotten it yet, this Felwinter's is fantastic. Alright, let's move on over to the tower. First up at Lord Shaxx, he's got his new bounties. First up is Back to Basics, which is the Clash bounty. Then we've got a Game of Rift, which similarly asks you to get 7 match completions, 50 primary kills, 25 assisted kills, and 1 runner stopped medal. These bounties give you great rewards and are absolutely worth doing. Alright, now next up for the material exchange, of course Eris Morn saw some changes with the Age of Triumph. She now has 4 different options for donations: Wormspore, Hadium Flake donations, Shard donations, and Rune donations. There are plenty of ways to get Crota's End rep. For Dead Orbit this week, they are taking Spirit Bloom donations. The Future War Cult is also taking Spirit Bloom donations. And well, what do you know? The new Monarchy is also taking Spirit Bloom this week. We've got a triple Spirit Bloom donation bonanza going on with the faction. So make sure you throw on your Venus Ghost, and when you head into the Vault of Glass this week, you should be getting a ton of those planetary materials. This week's Challenge of Elders bounties are Riot Guard, where you need to kill champions in level 41 prison or Challenge of Elders, Heavy Hitter, where you need to use heavy weapons to kill enemies in level 41 or Challenge of Elders, and finally, Firefighter, where you need to use solar abilities to kill enemies in level 41 or Challenge of Elders. That's going to be great with that solar burn. Alright, and finally, last but not least, we've got your girl Petrovenge and the Queen's Wrath faction. This week, her wanted bounty is for Baroness Greyrus once again. You'll find the Baroness on the Shattered Coast on Venus. Next up, we've got Take Them Out in the Cosmodrome, where you need to kill Taken Lieutenants in the Cosmodrome, 12 of them to be exact. Then, of course, we've got the Take Them All bounty, where you need to kill 100 Taken. Queen's Sovereignty, where you need to defeat 50 Fallen in any strike playlist. Queen's Harvest, where you need to gather 15 Dark Nuclei from Majors and Ultras in any strike playlist. And finally, Queen's Eye, where you need to kill 30 Taken with precision shots. And that, Guardians, is pretty much it for your weekly reset update for today. What? Were you expecting something more, something additional to this? What? Vendor reviews? What makes you think I'm qualified to do that? Look, we will of course be covering the vendor weapons that have refreshed this week. It just would have doubled the production time of this video and made it twice as long as it needed to be. So instead, that's going to be its own video where we cover the best rolled weapons of the week, to let you Guardians know exactly which ones are worth spending your money on. You can look for that sometime later today probably. But right now, I gotta finish this video so I can get back into the Vault of Glass. But alright Guardians, thanks so much for watching. Be sure to stay tuned here to Planet Destiny for all the latest tips, tricks, and guides for the Age of Triumph. But alright, I'm out for now. As always, I am the Black Link. You Guardians, stay frosty.